Okay, y'all, I have a going second Gunkan list for you. I know I've covered Gunkans before, but I was covering a very standard variant. I've been playing around with this one and casual duels a lot of the time, and it's just been really fun. I have beat a couple meta decks with it just because I am running a lot of the going second hate cards. And yeah, let's get into it. So first off, I got three of the vanilla, the Gunkan Sun Su Ship Shari, which this card is really good because, as we covered in the last Gunkan deck profile, even though it's a vanilla, if you make one of the rank 4s with it, you can draw a card. That also goes for, where is it, the rank 5. You can make this level 5 with one of the other Gunkan ships, and when you do that, you can also use that to draw a card. So basically, this is decent because it's easy to bring out with Unexpected Die and Rescue Rabbit, and it lets you draw cards. Next up, we have the 2 Maxi. So Maxi is not very good against Flunder, but against any other deck like Sword Soul, Maxi is really good to give you as many cards in your hand as possible. So if your opponent's going first, and which is your goal, ideally I like to go second with going second Gunkan. It's in the name of the deck. But Maxi drawing more cards is good. Next we have 2 Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs. Next we have our 2 Water Enchantress of the Temple. We have the Adventure package in here just for added options. Next we have our 1 Rescue Rabbit. This lets us tutor out Su-Ship Sharis pretty much instantly. It's decent to be able to just go into any rank 4 with that. Sometimes you'll Rescue Rabbit into the Su-Ships and then summon Exciton Knight, and then have Exciton Knight do his thing and blow up the opponent's board. If you feel like Rabbit's clunky or you dead draw it a lot, you can remove it. You don't have to run it. I'm just running the one because I like the card personally. Next we have 3 Gunkan Su-Ship Iruka. So if you control a Gunkan Su-Ship Shari, you can special summon this card from your hand. So if you like Rabbit into the Su-Ships, or you Unexpected Die into the Su-Ship, you can special summon this out. You can only special summon it once per turn this way. During your main phase, you can excavate the top 3 cards of your deck, and if you do, add to your hand or special summon 1 excavated Gunkan Su-Ship Shari. Also shuffle the rest into the deck. You can only use this effect for Gunkan Su-Ship Iruka once per turn. And then we have the Gunkan Su-Ship Shirao. If you control a Gunkan Su-Ship Shari or XYZ monster that has a Gunkan Su-Ship Shari as material, you can special summon it from your hand. During your main phase, you can special summon 1 Gunkan monster from your hand except Gunkan Su-Ship Shirino. Then take any number of Gunkan Su-Ship Shari from your deck or graveyard, and then place them on the top of your deck in any order. So this combos with this pretty nicely. You can special summon 1 Gunkan monster from your hand, except Gunkan Su-Ship. Then you can take any number of Gunkan... Oh, we already read that. What am I doing? This deck list is already a disaster. Then we have our Gunkan Su-Ship Uni, and we're running 3 of each of the ships just because we want to see them, and it's consistent. You can reveal another Gunkan card in your hand, and remember it says Gunkan card, so you can reveal Daily Special if you want to, you can reveal Shipyard if you want to, and then apply the effect based on the revealed card. If it's a Shari, you can special summon the other revealed monster. If it's a different card, you can place the revealed card on the bottom of the deck. You can target 1 Gunkan monster you control, change level to 4 or 5. That includes this card. Then you can add a Gunkan Su-Ship Shari from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect with Gunkan Su-Ship Uni once per turn. And then next up we have Wandering Griffin Rider for our Adventure package. During the main phase, if you have no monsters or you control an Adventure token, you can special summon it. When a card or effect is activated while you control an Adventure token, shuffle into the deck, negate the activation, destroy the card. You can only use each effect of Wandering Griffin Rider once per turn. You really only need 1 because it recycles. Next, we got our 2 Lava Golems. Since we're going second, if our opponent puts something on the board that's a negate, like Baron de Fleur, or they're playing Sword Soul and they end on like the Dragite in the floor, or they just end on anything annoying, well, those two monsters are going to become a lava golem. And even though you can't normal summon or set when you activate this card, that's okay. We have numerous special summon effects, so we're golden. Also, we got unexpected die to turbo out stuff as well, so pretty decent to play. If you don't like the fact that you can't normal or special summon, you can run kaijus, but I like being able to remove more than one of my opponent's monsters from the board. Next, we have Pot of Avarice. You're going to need to recycle your ship pieces, and you're going to have a lot of stuff in the graveyard quickly, so this is a decent card to run. If you do find that it's too bloated or you prefer using the trap card, you can remove it. Next, we have 2 Unexpected Die. This card is fantastic. Being able to special summon a level 4 lower normal monster from the deck is fantastic. It's basically a rescue rabbit on wheels. And then next we have Painful Decision. Send a level 4 lower normal monster from your deck to your graveyard, and if you do, add a monster with the same name from your deck to your hand. You can activate 1 Painful Decision per turn. And then we have 2 Lightning Storms, 2 Rite of Armaseer, 1 Dracoback, the Rideable Dragon, and then 3 of the Field Spell. The Field Spell, once per turn, if you normal or special summon a Gunkan monster during the even during the damage step, you can place a Gunkan card from your deck on top of your deck. Once per turn, if a face-up Gunkan monster you control is special summon from the extra deck is sent to the graveyard by opponent's card, activate this effect. Your opponent pays life points equal to that monster's defense in the graveyard. Then you can apply this effect. Special summon 1 Gunkan ship Sorry from your hand, then special summon 1 Gunkan XYZ monster from your extra deck by using that card as material. This is treated as an XYZ summon. So pretty decent effects. Making your opponent pay life points is also kind of silly, but I like it. The 1 Fateful Adventure, 3 Evenly Matched, because this is a going second deck. Being able to look at your opponent and say, I'm going to out whatever you played, pretty great. And then just going off with the XYZ monsters and smacking your opponent in the face, pretty great. And then next we have the 1 Gunkan Ship Daily Special. When you activate this card, you can reveal a Gunkan Ship Shari in your hand. Reveal 3 Gunkan monsters from your deck. Your opponent chooses 1 of them to add to your hand. Shuffle the rest into your deck. If you reveal the Gunkan Ship Shari in your hand at activation, you can choose the card to add to your hand instead of your opponent choosing. If this card is in the graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish this card, target 3 Gunkan monsters in the graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, and then draw a card. So it's like a mini Pot of Avarice. But yeah, that's it for the main deck. And we're going to go to the extra deck. We got the 1 Utopia to stop them from attacking stuff. We got the 1 Cowboy in case we need to burn them for game. We got the 1 Evil Swarm Exotonite, which is basically a portable version of Evenly Matched. Once per chain or once per chain during your main phase or your opponent's battle phase, if your opponent has more total cards in their hand and field than you do, you can detach a material and destroy all other cards in the field, and your opponent takes no further damage this turn. This card is decent if you're in a really tight spot. Next, we have 1 number 80, Rhapsody and Berserk. So the main reason we would use this guy is we detach a material and then target a card in your opponent's graveyard and banish it. You can use that effect twice per turn. The second reason is you can target a face of XYZ monster you control, equip this monster to it, and it gains 1200 attack. So you can boost one of your ships and just make it beefier. Next, we have 2 Crooked Cooks. When you have no other cards on the field, this card's unaffected by card effects, so really good if they don't have the kaiju out. Once per turn, quick effect, detach material from this card, destroy as many other cards you control as possible. Then this card gains 300 attack until the end of the turn for each. So this is good to just sit on, basically, if you ever need to. Next, we have 3 Gunkan Ship Superclass Dreadnoughts. When it's XYZ summoned, you apply these effects in sequence. If you use the Shari for it, you draw a card. If you use the Aruka, it can make a second attack during each battle phase. Once per turn, when your Gunkan monster special summoned from the extra deck inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target 1 card your opponent controls and destroy it. Pretty decent. Next, we have 1 Magic Key Spirit Venpartu. When it's XYZ summoned, you can detach a material, add a level 4 or higher normal monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. If this card has a normal monster as a material, it gains this effect. At the start of the damage step, if it battles an opponent's monster with the same attribute as the normal monster or magic key monster in your graveyard, spoiler alert, you only have the normal shoe ship, you can detach one and your opponent must send that monster to the graveyard. So that's pretty much only going to work for fire. You don't really have many fire decks in the meta right now that you're going to play against. But the main effect that we really care about is adding the level 4 higher normal. So if we really need the Sue ship, we will see that Sue ship. Next, we have 2 Gunkan Sue ship Shiro class carriers. When this card is XYZ summoned, you can apply these effects based on the materials. So if it has a Shari, you draw a card. If it has Shirau, you get to add a Gunkan spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Fantastic effect. While there's a field spell in the field zone, Gunkan monsters you control, special summon from the extra deck, cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects and gain attack equal to the original defense. So a nice little boost and nice little protection effect. And it can search the field spell. And then next we have the Gunkan Sue ship Superclass Dreadnought, which is a level 5, and it has the same, you can apply these effects based on the material. So Shari, draw a card. Uni, it can attack directly, which that is pretty damn good. I mean, if you have the field spell out, that's going to have 3,400. If you equip Rhapsody to it, it's going to have 44, or not 42, it's going to have 40, yeah, no, well, 44. So that's going to be pretty busted. But once per turn during your main phase or opponent's battle phase, you can target cards of the field your opponent controls up to the number of Gunkan monsters you control special summon from the extra deck. You can negate their effects. Ooh-wee, that is a good effect. And then of course we got our boy Zeus. I should probably be running more than one Zeus because this is super easy to make in this deck and it is really decent. But that's it for the deck list and deck profile. I'm not going to show replays in this deck list because I already have Gunkan replays from the other one, and this deck is pretty standard. It's just make XYZ monster, aim to go second, remove opponent's cards. If you want to play a little bit more of a conservative version of this deck, I would take out the Rabbit, take out the Pot of Avarice, and then you'll be out 40 cards. And yeah, that's it. Hope you guys like this deck profile, and as always, this video is sponsored by Dubby Energy. Use code SirLargeGaming to get 10% off with the link down below. I personally think it is a fantastic energy drink, and I pretty much stopped drinking the canned energy drinks from the grocery store after I've gotten them as a sponsor. It's really, really good stuff, and so if you're into that kind of thing, use the link down below in the code SirLargeGaming, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.